A large number of students of different races gathered at the school gate. Dwanlight Yun sighed that Jiangnan University is indeed a top university in China. The tutor in charge of new student registration at this time asked Dwanlight Yun to hand in the new student's resume to her. And when the tutor knew that he was the highest score in Jiangnan province, the surrounding crowd also gathered around, wanting to catch a glimpse of the Jiangnan province highest scorer no-class freelancer style. Dwanlight Yun had never seen such a scene before. He crashed directly on the spot. The mentor told Dwanlight Yun that the reason why everyone reacted so strongly was not only because he was an unprecedented no-class freelancer. It is also because he ranks first among the freshmen. The top student will have very generous treatment. In other words, are students from the whole college at the freshman orientation at the university. Highest scorers from other provinces are discussing Dwanlight Yun, believing that he must have cheated on the college entrance exam. Just a lowly freelancer with no class, who could be squashed with a flick of the finger. And Hongfang Shui from Jiangnan province, like Dwanlight Yun, has boldly declared to settle the matter with Dwanlight Yun in the arena. Dean Anfuyi of the Academy of War witnessed this scene, and couldn't help but sigh. The little one seemed to care a lot about rankings. Dean Qin Chengxia of the Academy of Weapons spoke up. Dwanlight Yun, she has made up her mind. Because Dwanlight Yun not only has the same natural combat intuition as her, but can also wield multiple weapons. The mentors from the other academies were shocked beyond words. Iceberg Queen, who is usually very economical with her words, spoke for the first time. Seeing even the mentors were fighting over recruiting people, Anfuyi decided to speed up the process. Notify students that the freshman competition will be held earlier. Later, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, all students gathered at South Cloud Square. The mentor informed the students. This assessment is related to credits and living conditions. Please take it seriously. And this assessment does not prohibit elixir. Then the door of Silver Mystic slowly opened. All students were transported into the Troll Lair dungeon. First seen on the big screen is a one-reclassing mechanic madly spraying, embarking on soloing a nightmare difficulty dungeon. Anfuyi praised the high quality of this year's freshman. The mechanic rank 653 is also capable of soloing nightmare difficulty without any pressure. Shortly after, a healer ranked 213 attracted the attention of several people. This is a shadow priest within the priest class. He actually stayed in the bushes to increase his attributes. Several mentors were left speechless by this impressive operation. Qin Chengxia was speechless. He quickly asked the director to switch the window to Dwanlight Yun. The scene before them left all the mentors shocked. When others were still battling with a monster, Dwanlight Yun had already cleared out all the trolls and proceeded to the second level. The teacher couldn't help but exclaim, "This is really too fast. He has already broken the record for this level. How did he do it?" Dean Hushuan Lian from the Academy of Elements explained to him. "Take a closer look. Many of the trolls were burned to a crisp," said the Dean of the Academy of Elements. "And there were signs of fierce winds wreaking havoc on the surrounding trees. He must have used the wizard skill Wind Eye to gather the trolls in one place. Then, he used Fireball to bombard them densely, enhancing the power of Fireball greatly with the strong winds. He successfully killed the trolls in one fell swoop." Hushuan Lian said that Dwanlight Yun's Wind Eye and Fireball skills are at least B rank. Otherwise, there would be no such effect. This kid is really suitable for our Academy of Elements. Anfuyi couldn't help but marvel. His combat ability is among the top levels of the freshmen. But the assessment in the second room is not just about combat power. At this time, Dwanlight Yun had just entered the second level and discovered something unusual. His feet sank directly into the swamp. Moving around will only make him sink deeper. He cast a fireball spell toward the ground. He leaped into the air by the recoil from the explosion. He then landed smoothly on the safe ground. Dwanlight Yun found swamps everywhere. Clearance requires a strong perception, But Dwanlight Yun remained calm and composed. This small issue didn't trouble him at all. Of course, he possesses natural affinity skills that can enhance his perception. The quality has reached B+. It can even cause plant resonance and communicate with them. Whether it's the trees, mosses here, or the mycelium mat, they can all become his eyes and ears. Dwanlight Yun discovered the third one through perception. The entrance to the room is right ahead. This skills allowed him to quickly reach the safe ground. But just then, a troll knocked. A club sprang down from the tree. Dwanlight Yun couldn't be bothered to respond. He directly transformed his weapon into a staff. The sneaky troll then launched a fireball. It seems you haven't fully understood the situation. I have mentioned that all plants are my eyes and ears. At the moment when the trolls leap into the air, Dwanlight Yun then uses the druid's growth skills to bind them all. Other growths can only stimulate plant growth to make them stronger. But Dwanlight Yun's is different. It also adds a parasitic effect on top of the original basis, as long as they are parasitized by them. The body will then turn into their nutrients until the HP is drained. The mentors did not realize at all that this is primary skills. As written in the resume, his talent has completed one evolution. The second test is a test of perception. Without sharp senses, not only is it easy to get killed on the battlefield, but it may also drag down comrades. There are many ways to improve perception skills. Shadow Priest's dark perception is one of them. Recovery positioning for mechanic and mana surge for mage. His decision to immediately choose natural affinity, which is most suitable for the environment, is indeed good judgment. Of course, there are many strategies to solve the problem. You can go all out like that mage, blasting away wildly. Or, you can rely on high attack and defense, charging in recklessly all the way. Dwanlight Yun, on the other hand, chose a strategy of outsmarting the opponent. At this moment, Dwanlight Yun has arrived at the door of the boss. Faced with the trolls, who are still lazy and sleeping, he cast a fireball as soon as he arrived. Dwanlight Yun directly blasted open the boss's gate. Subsequently, he killed the boss's guard dog right in front of the boss. Troll Chieftain went into an extreme rage. He had been the boss for so long, and had never been challenged like this before. He leaped up swinging a huge iron hammer, intending to smash Dwanlight Yun into powder. This blow easily crushed Dwanlight Yun. But the next moment, he realized something was wrong. It must have used duplicate-type skills. But so what? I'll kill as many as needed. Then execute the Great Windmill Hammer technique without delay. Dwanlight Yun is powerless to defend against it. Fire Elemental Magic activated. Eliminate all duplicates of Dwanlight Yun. The boss is also surprised. This wizard soldier was able to comprehend magic other than dark elemental magic, so he was immediately promoted to captain. With the combined attack of the Troll Chieftain and the wizard, duplicate of Dwanlight Yun is completely defeated. Only one person left, lying on the ground, slowly retreating. The boss raised the giant hammer and couldn't help but mock. This must be your true form. But just as he was about to strike, the figure of Dwanlight Yun in front of him slowly transformed into a foot soldier. Before Troll Chieftain could react, the foot soldier was then extinguished by fire elemental magic. The mentors were also puzzled. What could have happened? Because what they saw on surveillance was the Troll Chieftain killing all of his own soldiers. They even watched Dwanlight Yun using fireball to kill the other soldiers. The Dean of the Academy of Elements stood up to explain. The boss fell under the effect of Dwanlight Yun's Onmyoji primary skill Spellbinding Soul Enchantment. Onmyoji is a unique class in the Fusong Kingdom that can create illusions on a single target. But the regular Spellbinding Soul Enchantment is not enough to confuse targets higher level than oneself. Dwanlight Yun has this effect due to his versatile talent enhancing the quality of his skills. Before this, Dwanlight Yun deliberately killed the warrior chief in person, provoking the Troll Chieftain and causing an emotional outburst. This greatly increased the success rate of confusion. Many mentors couldn't help but sigh, calculating to this extent, what a terrifying student. The boss inside the dungeon has regained consciousness. Looking at the bodies of his people everywhere, the troll chieftain becomes even more berserk, with the last trace of rationality in his mind fading away. He rushed towards Dwanlight Yun regardless of everything. The explosion's flames illuminated the entire dungeon. The smoke cleared. However, the troll chieftain showed no sign of diminishing hostility, fiercely charging at Dwanlight Yun once again. But Dwanlight Yun remained calm, because during the time when he confused the boss, he had already set up countless traps. With Onmyoji's lightning summoning, the wizard's bone spur, mage's rockfall, mechanic's dangerous device activated. Troll chieftain is already heavily wounded. But the boss is indeed the boss. He forcefully charged forward with his powerful killing intent. Then he unleashed all his energy. He delivered the strongest blow. However, he only managed to eliminate Dwanlight Yun's duplicate, which transformed into the long sword form along with the weapon. The moment Air Cutter was launched, the boss was instantly torn into pieces. Congratulations to the student Dwanlight Yun for successfully completing the Nightmare Difficulty Dungeon Troll Lair in 11 minutes and 43 seconds. Please collect the completion reward. The teachers couldn't help but marvel at Dwanlight Yun in front of them. Truly a talented student, with extremely high difficulty trap skills. Most people simply can't use them well. His ability to use them so skillfully is truly eye-opening. And at this moment, Dean Xiao and Dean Yi started to argue. Both of them wanted Dwanlight Yun to join their faction. The situation quickly escalated into a confrontation. The other teachers were all shocked. These two big shots started fighting even before Dwanlight Yun had left the dungeon. It remains to be seen what choice Dwanlight Yun will make. At this moment, Dwanlight Yun inside the dungeon has been recognized as the #1 record holder for exceptional performance. The system has rated them as SSS rank. Subsequently, they began to distribute clearance rewards. Dwanlight Yun instantly leveled up 3 times. They also obtained a golden rank weapon and the title of Troll Slayer. Due to your status as the first person in the dungeon, you will unlock a new achievement talent. Please choose a new talent from the 3 options. Dwanlight Yun didn't expect another 3-way choice, because the last time he chose fast casting as his talent. This time he chose dual casting. A blue mark flowed into Dwanlight Yun's mind. This also enabled him to complete the talent inheritance. Just as Dwanlight Yun was about to exit the dungeon, he found a light cluster quickly gathering in front of him. In just a moment, it formed a portal. Is this a hidden level? Since this is not an official level, it will not affect the completion rating and records. However, the relative difficulty is also highly unstable. However, for Dwanlight Yun, who still has more than half of their strength left, having a channel that can increase income is also a good thing. When Dwanlight Yun entered the hidden dungeon, the first person had already arrived outside the exit of the Troll Lair dungeon. Looking at the empty surroundings, he was very sure that he was the first one. At this moment, Han Feng Shui only felt pressure. The haze in his heart instantly dissipated. If it weren't for Dwanlight Yun cheating, he wouldn't have lost the title of Jiangnan Province's highest scorer. And now, he has finally regained the glory that belongs to him. At this time, the second place also arrived at the square. Seeing this scene, couldn't help but sigh. Indeed, being a no-class freelancer is a dead end. It's just a flash in the pan. One after another figure emerged from the dungeon. The rankings for the top 10 newcomers have already been determined. People saw that Dwanlight Yun was conspicuously absent and began mocking and taunting. Only one attentive girl noticed Dwanlight Yun. How's this guy's dungeon scene? It looks different from ours. Upon the reminder, the faces of Han Feng Shui and the others changed drastically. It was then that they realized that Dwanlight Yun had already cleared the game and started exploring the hidden dungeon. The new students couldn't believe it. Just a mere no-class freelancer was moving so quickly. At this moment, the dean is calming everyone down and waiting for the results. Please do not speak anymore. Then he directly turned off the projection. He didn't expect that Dwanlight Yun triggered that hidden room. In that case, it's not suitable for students to see. At this moment, Dwanlight Yun surveyed the space inside the dungeon. It was empty with nothing extra. Dwanlight Yun directly activates the reconnaissance skills. But this scarecrow is very strange. Its level is only level 17. To be on the safe side, Dwanlight Yun decided to summon the water element first to investigate his true nature. But before Dwanlight Yun could summon, the scarecrow has already appeared in front of him. The fast speed directly forced out Dwanlight Yun's holy flash skills. Only after being able to dodge did Dwanlight Yun realize. The purpose of the scarecrow's attack just now was not to harm him, but to take away his hair. After taking the hair, the scarecrow immediately began to mutate. Dwanlight Yun took the opportunity to check/accept Win's step and quickly approached. A move fire fist fiercely smashed down. Suddenly, the flame soared. Lying there was Dwanlight Yun, but he never expected to be injured by his own fire fist. Looking at the scarecrow in front of him, he was surprised to see that it had turned into his own appearance. Also suffered the same amount of damage. Dwanlight Yun realized this. Is this scarecrow named Cursed Scarecrow going to receive the same amount of damage inflicted onto himself? Watching the scarecrow harm himself in such a frenzy, Dwanlight Yun quickly went up to stop him. But the scarecrow kicked the wall directly. Immediately, Dwanlight Yun fell heavily to the ground. He summoned Thingman to try to control it. But the scarecrow smashed its hand against the wall again. Immediately, Dwanlight Yun casting was interrupted by the pain. But Dwanlight Yun suddenly realized. It turns out this guy, aren't as powerful as I thought. Dwanlight Yun said that you did not bind HP with me. Instead, the injuries you receive will be transferred to me, and you will fake the same injuries. Dwanlight Yun then cast a healing spell. But Cursed Scarecrow only regained the use of its right hand. Dwanlight Yun remarked, your HP as a level 17 monster cannot possibly match mine as a level 16. Dwanlight Yun then punched the nearby wall, breaking through the entire wall in one blow. The other side's Cursed Scarecrow screamed in pain. Dwanlight Yun said that the damage we both receive will be transferred to each other. You chose to disguise the injury, afraid that I would discover this point. But since my attribute value far exceeds yours. Immediately, Dwanlight Yun cast a fireball on himself. The Cursed Scarecrow screamed in pain and was directly revealed. Dwanlight Yun explained that it was an incredible prop in his hand. By wrapping the target's hair around the neck of the scarecrow, you can transfer the damage received by the scarecrow to the target. At the same time, other students have already cleared the level. Dwanlight Yun then slowly appeared. At this moment, the dean said that someone among you has cheated. To test your true abilities, a 1v1 competitive challenge will be held. Then, out of thin air, a competitive arena was created. The dean announced that the rules were very simple. You can challenge anyone. Once you win, you will replace them in their ranking, and no one is allowed to refuse. And as the top-ranked Dwanlight Yun has long been seen as a thorn in the eyes of other students. They are all eager to challenge this troublemaker. But Dwanlight Yun is not afraid at all. Just challenge everyone who wants to be the first directly. Come and fight him. Other students couldn't hold back when they heard this. Two students immediately want to challenge Dwanlight Yun. Dwanlight Yun confidently said, 1 by 1 is too troublesome. This thoroughly angered the two of them. One went left and one went right, heading straight towards Dwanlight Yun. Following that, they used the fighter's primary skill trample. There was a sudden loud explosion. This left all the surrounding challengers dumbfounded. It also stunned two students at the same time. Directly scared off another student, who was still thinking of challenging Dwanlight Yun. Dwanlight Yun stood on the arena overlooking the crowd. He shouted, who else wants to challenge me? The whole venue fell silent instantly. No one dared to step forward to challenge him for the moment. Those who could enter Jiangnan University are geniuses from all over. From the previous battle, They also saw the terribleness of Dwanlight Yun. Although trample can cause damage and stun, the effect depends entirely on the user's strength value attribute value. Dwanlight Yun stuns both fighter and warrior for a long time. His strength value is simply unimaginable. He's totally a monster. Previously, I thought Anfuyi was referring to Dwanlight Yun as the big troublemaker. But even Dwanlight Yun himself now denies this idea. While Hanfang Shui, who has always been the most unwilling to accept it, is now too scared to speak up. No wonder he was ranked first. His strength is truly terrifying. It seems that no one will dare to challenge him next. Just at this moment, a loud shout suddenly came from the back of the crowd. I challenge you to a duel. It is the third-ranked Dazhou province highest scorer Tyran Shin. Then came a light shout. It is the fifth-ranked Xinya province highest scorer Nico. Tyran Shin is the legendary hidden class Blood Knight. And Nico is the most noble Silver Moon elf among the elves, with innate attribute values stronger than ordinary people. And he is also awakened an S-ranked talent. In contrast, Dwanlight Yun is just the weakest no-class freelancer. As the referee's signal begins, Tyran Shin takes the lead, using Blood Shadow Thrust to charge at Dwanlight Yun. The powerful force directly struck the competition stage. The energy shield on the platform was stabbed and cracked open. But what surprised everyone even more was Dwanlight Yun didn't even move his feet. He just slightly tilted his head to dodge the attack. Tyran Shin pressed on again, the strike missed. Dwanlight Yun carefully observed his movements. This guy is truly meticulous. Not a single flaw can be found even by textbook standards. It's as if he's gone to the extreme of being as rigid as a precision machine. Dwanlight Yun pointed forward, releasing two fireballs, which were easily blocked by Tyran Shin with his shield. Dwanlight Yun snorted coldly, thinking you can deal with me by putting up a turtle shell. With that, he used branching tendrils to bind Tyran Shin. Just when Tyran Shin was disdainful, the tendrils suddenly began to absorb his HP. He was shocked. This kind of consumption would be very detrimental to him. So he quickly used Blood Flame, and countless blood-colored flames immediately surged towards the vines. But Dwanlight Yun would not let him succeed. She then released the mage's water curtain. A huge column of water poured down towards him, instantly extinguishing Tyran Shin's blood flame. The spectators widened their eyes one by one. Who the hell would believe this is a water curtain? Clearly it's a small waterfall. Dwanlight Yun would not miss this great opportunity to beat a fallen dog while it's down. Demonic Breakthrough switched to War Spear form and charged forward with a firm step. The vines grew faster after being soaked in water. Tyran Shin couldn't move at all now. He gritted his teeth fiercely. The only option left for him was to use his ultimate move, Blood Escape. His body instantly transformed into countless drops of blood. The blood water gushed out from the vines, then quickly condensed behind Dwanlight Yun into its original form. Then a shot pierced Dwanlight Yun's back. Dwanlight Yun's perception is extremely sensitive. He suddenly turned around and met the gun with a shot. The gun tips collided loudly in the air. Tyran Shin stared in disbelief. Blood Knight is known for defense with strength, but this kid actually managed to withstand his attack head-on. Absolutely impossible. Tyran Shin roared as he wildly thrust the long spear in his hand towards Dwanlight Yun. Numerous spear shadows clashed continuously in front of the two. I don't believe you can take this move, Tyran Shin yelled hysterically. He unleashed a blood shadow thrust. But this time, Dwanlight Yun did not choose to confront it head-on. Waiting for this move from you. I saw him stepping on Tyran Shin's long spear with one foot. Then he used Spearman's Sweep fiercely, hitting him in the face with a hard spear. Tyran Shin was sent flying out directly by the hit. But he still refused to accept it. He was still shouting non-stop. But the next second, a blood-red dagger was pressed against his neck. It was the stealth of assassin. Dwanlight Yun's faint voice came from behind. It's over. Tyran Shin weakly threw away the weapon and raised both hands. I admit defeat. As the mentor announced the results, the students below the arena suddenly boiled up. Cheers rose and fell. God Yun is so handsome. God Yun is simply too powerful. An Fuyi laughed while stroking his beard. Never has a student completely mastered the textbooks like Tyran Shin. But unfortunately, even the textbooks are of no use. He was told how to battle the no-class freelancer. Just then, a graceful figure landed on the arena. Nico indicated that Dwanlight Yun had won. Tyran Shin simply relies on agility. But this advantage will be non-existent in front of her. Dwanlight Yun had no interest in small talk with her. With a long spear in hand, the outcome of the battle will be evident with one strike. Although I have witnessed Dwanlight Yun's formidable skills, the opponent possesses the noble blood of the Silver Moon flowing in their veins. With such a huge gap in their bloodline, it's really hard to say who will win this competition. Nico asked Dwanlight Yun if she needed to take a break. She didn't want to take advantage of him. Dwanlight Yun declined, saying that she didn't need to. Nico is not sentimental either. The long sword in his hand immediately emitted a fluorescent glow. Dwanlight Yun calmly analyzed his opponent. If Nico charges over, his war spear will have the advantage in attack range. However, Nico did not charge over. Instead, he swung a sword energy beam across the air. Dwanlight Yun quickly sidestepped to avoid it. The sharp sword aura directly slashed the ground, forming a deep trench. Even the energy shield was split open by the slash. This kind of attack is the first time Dwanlight Yun has seen. But he is not flustered at all. Facing the countless sword attacks, he keeps dodging by leaping back and forth repeatedly. His evasion is skillful and effortless. The energy shield emits bursts of intense impact sounds. The outside students couldn't help but sigh. The Silver Moon Elf is indeed the top elf race, and his strength is truly terrifying. However, the intensive attacks never landed on Dwanlight Yun. Nico never expected this guy to be so difficult to deal with. So she had to exert all her strength, only to see silver light shining in her eyes. The long sword in her hand also extended several times. The space on the arena is limited. As long as Silver Moon's attack range is wide enough, you will have nowhere to escape. Suddenly, a huge sword aura burst out while speaking. But Dwanlight Yun does not retreat, but instead advances. You are very wary of my speed. You are trying every means to limit me, but blindly pursuing attack range. Your weakness has been exposed. Dwanlight Yun dodges the sword aura with a marksman slide tackle. Then change the weapon to dual pistols and unleash a barrage of shots. Nico can only use his sword to block the bullets. Dwanlight Yun blinked and appeared right in front of her. But Nico just raised an eyebrow. You really chose to engage in close combat. I bet right. She suddenly emitted a fierce aura as she spoke. In an instant, she sent Dwanlight Yun flying away. It's a bloodline secret skill of the Silver Moon Elf. Radiance of the Silver Moon Dragon. Take advantage of Dwanlight Yun being airborne. Nico took out a bow and arrow. The secret technique immobilized Dwanlight Yun. At this point, he was unable to dodge or defend. However, her arrow had not been released yet. The Dwanlight Yun in the air suddenly dissipated. Before she could react, a long sword had already been pressed against her neck. The playful voice of Dwanlight Yun also sounded from behind. You seem to be having a lot of fun with my duplicate. Nico is very puzzled by this. She completely failed to notice when Dwanlight Yun used the duplicate. Dwanlight Yun explained that it was when Nico was dodging the bullets. She is still too inexperienced in playing tactically with him. Nico suddenly sat weakly on the ground, her delicate body trembling slightly. I lost. As the referee announced, the whole audience erupted into cheers once again. Nico left the stage with teary eyes, feeling dejected. It was the first time she had lost to someone her age despite growing up. She was extremely unwilling to accept it. I will definitely win back. Dwanlight Yun returned to the edge of the ring once again. He stood at the edge of the ring with his hands crossed in front of his chest, proclaiming loudly, "I'm tired of the wheel battle. No matter how many people come at me, I find it troublesome." After hearing this, several students jumped up one after another. They couldn't believe that Dwanlight Yun fought 2 provincial highest scorers in a row and still had energy left. Dwanlight Yun responded with actions. He started by using illumination. Several people were instantly blinded by the flash. Next, several fireballs fell from the sky. Amidst a series of continuous screams, several people were immediately beaten to their knees begging for mercy. No one dared to challenge Dwanlight Yun anymore. Throughout the history of Jiangnan University, and even the entire Qianlong Kingdom, there has never been a student like this. But today, a miracle has occurred. Someone who can stand against everyone by their own strength. Top-tier attribute panel paired with countless powerful skills. Not to mention its perfect combat skills. The gap between ordinary people often triggers various emotions such as jealousy and feeling inferior. However, when the gap becomes too large, these emotions will be replaced by an insurmountable gulf, evolving into admiration or numbness. In the quiet square, a student said intermittently, "He is ranked first not because he has the ability to be first, but because the highest rank can only be first." A stone stirs 1,000 layers of waves, creating the strongest newcomer. The whole scene suddenly erupted into cheers, like a tsunami. God Yun is so handsome. God Yun is the strongest newcomer. He is truly deserving of being the first. Just now, Dwanlight Yun maintained the first place in the freshman competition. Received system achievement quest rewards, S-rank skills, and a bottle of potion of luck. SS rank skills, invincible. Immune to all damage, and control for 3 seconds. After using potion of luck, have the highest luck within 24 hours. In this big competition, the original second place Hanfang Shui has been pushed down to 26th. The students also realized that the big troublemaker mentioned by the dean was actually this guy. The freshman competition has ended. Dean Anfu Yi will then start hosting by school. Many students are already familiar with the several major schools at Jiangnan University. The Academy of War is born for battles and killings. It is the strongest academy in comprehensive strength. However, it is very easy to be sent to the battlefield. The Academy of Weapons, which can compete with the Academy of War on an equal footing, has a new dean. Iceberg Queen Qin Chengxia, the youngest dean in history. At the age of only 27, she has already been fighting on the battlefield for 8 years. Currently, her strength is at the 3 reclassing level, rumored to have defeated the 4 reclassing War God and even slain the Demon Lord. Anfu Yi has just been introduced. Qin Chengxia walked briskly to the front. Dwanlight Yun came to my Academy of Weapons. This style is really worthy of someone who has been on the battlefield. Just came in and started snatching people directly. Anfu Yi is not willing to show weakness either. He said that as long as Dwanlight Yun comes to the Academy of War, he will accept him as a direct disciple and give him 3 A-rank skill books as a greeting gift. Hechuan Lian, on the other hand, is even more fierce. He said that as long as Dwanlight Yun comes to his Academy of Elements, he will provide Dwanlight Yun with an ample supply of elixirs and enchantment materials, as well as a complete set of diamond-quality equipment. This is indeed a substantial investment. It is widely known that being a mage is the most expensive among all classes. Hechuan Lian is even a mage god, who is known for his wealth of resources through 4 reclassing as a mage. It's obvious that he is trying to lure Dwanlight Yun over with money. Even Anfu Yi couldn't help but be amazed at the enormity of this old guy's generosity. Faced with such enticing conditions, Dwanlight Yun is momentarily finding it difficult to make a decision. However, just as he was hesitating, a terrifying aura suddenly spread from the platform above. Everyone turned their heads in horror to look. Qin Chengxia had a tempering of the Demon Lord floating in her hand as she calmly uttered 4 words. "Dwanlight Yun, follow me." Everyone looked on in shock at this tempering of the Demon Lord, rumored to be sourced from the SSS-ranked divine artifact, crack. There is only one way to obtain it, by refining the body of the Demon Lord. After taking tempering of the Demon Lord, one can significantly improve their physique. Each level up grants more attribute points and skill points. This effect can be maintained until level 70, with a certain probability of inheriting the original Demon Lord's talent bloodline. Anfu Yi and Hechuan Lian both sighed helplessly. Qin Cheng Xia is too generous. This thing is not only envied by the students, but even the instructors are jealous. This is a divine artifact that money can't buy. But Dwanlight Yun was not dazzled by the treasure. Instead, she analyzed calmly. The competition among the academies is ultimately for performance. After all, outstanding students are more desirable. Help the academies secure more resources. But Qin Cheng Xia is an exception. She has never taken any action to grab any students in the past years. She pays no attention to her own performance. Even leaving the battlefield to become a teacher is a mystery. But now she has chosen Dwanlight Yun and offered conditions that are impossible to refuse. So Dwanlight Yun did not hesitate at all. He decisively chose the Academy of Weapons. In the afternoon, Dwanlight Yun and Nico arrived together at the office building of the Academy of Weapons. Nico also chose the Academy of Weapons. Shortly afterwards, Qin Cheng Xia's assistant Kaisi came out. She waved her hand, and a teleportation array appeared at the feet of the group. The next second, they were teleported to Qin Cheng Xia's treasure trove. In the center of the treasure trove stood a huge skeleton specimen of the demon dragon, surrounded by countless demon beast bones and treasures. Here, rather than calling it a treasure trove, it's more like a museum. At this moment, Dwanlight Yun was shocked beyond words. If all these were the spoils of Qin Cheng Xia alone, then Qin Cheng Xia is him. He is the most powerful person Dwanlight Yun has ever encountered in his life. Qin Cheng Xia, seated in the first place, had been waiting for the two of them for quite some time. Because Kaisi and Nico are both of the elf race. So Qin Cheng Xia arranged for her to teach Nico. Dwanlight Yun, on the other hand, is personally guided by her. Just saw her flip her palm. The tempering of the Demon Lord appeared in the palm. She asked Dwanlight Yun to absorb the tempering of the Demon Lord first. Dwanlight Yun, however, was in no hurry. Before absorbing it, I have a question. How did you obtain this tempering of the Demon Lord? Qin Cheng Xia responded that she got it herself. After slaying the Dark Knight Empress, the carcass was refined by a god-rank alchemist to obtain it. Speaking of this, she began to introduce to Dwanlight Yun the Demon Lord and the truth of this world, as well as the true enemies of humanity. 70 years ago, the world overlapped with the game. Many races appeared. But in the final analysis, they are just gamers who chose different races at the beginning. Essentially, they are still human. Outside the human world, there exists another world. Dark World is filled with demon-blooded, who invade the human world through spatial rifts. The most powerful beings in the human world are the four reclassing classes such as War God, Mage God, and Fight God. In the demon-blooded, the strongest individuals are collectively called Demon Lords, and they possess formidable combat abilities. One Demon Lord is equivalent to 2 four-reclassing powerhouses among humans. The formula for the tempering of the Demon Lord is obtained through the blessings of the heavens. Humans can trade with the God of creation through the means of sacrifice. They offer up all valuable items as sacrifices, especially the demon-blooded within the rifts. Heaven will respond. The recipe for tempering of the Demon Lord comes from this. Various divine medicines are hidden. Class, divine gear, godly skill, and so on. All can be obtained through sacrifice. These pieces of information instantly refreshed Dwanlight Yun's worldview. It turns out that demon-blooded are the most formidable enemies of humanity. Dwanlight Yun received the tempering of the Demon Lord. But he didn't absorb it immediately. Instead, he planned to rest for an hour before taking it. Qin Cheng Xia did not urge him either. She said to come find him in an hour. Dwanlight Yun came alone to rest in Qin Chung Xia's dean's office. A firebird was circling non-stop in the office. It was undoubtedly Qin Chung Xia's soul-binded divine beast. Dwanlight Yun curiously used appraisal to observe. However, no information can be seen. It seems that the strength gap is too large. Later, Dwanlight Yun took out the just obtained potion of luck. This was the reason he was preparing for an hour. The tempering of the demon lord is the kind of treasure that can be encountered but not sought. It must be treated with great care. It would be a huge loss if you didn't obtain the talent of the Dark Knight Empress. An hour later, Qin Chung Xia arrived at the office. She reminded Dwanlight Yun that the effect of tempering of the demon lord is very powerful. During the absorption process, one will endure immense pain. So she will be there to help protect him. Dwanlight Yun nodded earnestly in agreement. Then, he exerted great force with his palm and crushed tempering of the demon lord. The energy of tempering of the demon lord quickly poured into his body. Powerful force instantly exploded inside Dwanlight Yun's body. Intense pain made him let out a painful roar. Then with a thud, he fell to the ground. Qin Chung Xia hurriedly sat on top of him. Helped to alleviate his pain a little. But only a little bit. Otherwise, it will waste the medicinal power. At this moment, Dwanlight Yun's extraordinary regeneration was triggered automatically. The pain brought by tempering of the demon lord vanished in an instant. Qin Chung Xia looked completely confused. Is this really it? Could my tempering of the demon lord be fake? Dwanlight Yun exhaled and looked at the system panel. It seems that the absorption was successful. The attribute value has increased significantly. And also successfully obtained the 2 talents of Dark Knight Empress, but both ranks are not high. The Knight's Eye is rated B+, which can to some extent control and block objects in the field of view. C ranks Darkness. Attributes and skills in the darkness environment receive amplification. Qin Chung Xia also had to admire this kid. She had never seen anyone who could absorb the tempering of the demon lord so perfectly. Dwanlight Yun, however, knew clearly that this must be the work of the potion of luck. Qin Chung Xia explained that it is normal for the new talent rank to be low. The talent of the Dark Knight Empress can evolve. Perfect state is SS rank. They will grow together with Dwanlight Yun. Dwanlight Yun is very grateful to this dean. Although she looks very indifferent on the surface. But she actually cares a lot about him. In the future, there will definitely be a chance to repay her well. And at this moment, in the dark world on the other side, a demon lord let out an angry roar. Damn it! How dare these puny humans steal the power of the Dark Knight Empress? A person in a red robe in front of him said respectfully, Supreme Lord, please rest assured. I will definitely eliminate him. And then offer his heart to you. A big hand slowly stretches out from the darkness ahead. A crystal stone is floating on the palm. If this can be achieved, the tempering of War God will be rewarded to you. Obtained a new talent named Dwanlight Yun at this moment. Can't wait to return to the dormitory and start trying it out. He casually threw a plate forward. Immediately activates the new talent Knight's Eye. The spinning plate suddenly stopped in midair. He couldn't help but be amazed. This Knight's Eye is indeed powerful. Then he raised his hand and made a gesture. The plate flew back into his hand. I heard Teacher Xia say that Knight's Eye can grow. After reaching SS rank, it can seal off space. It is superior to most SS rank talents. At the same time, he is also more shocked by Qin Chung Xia's strength. Even the powerful Dark Knight Empress was killed by her. How strong is her actual strength? Since the effect of Potion of Luck can last for 24 hours. So Dwanlight Yun will have amazing luck all the way when she goes out. Picked up a bag of coins on the ground ahead. Got a chance to dine for free during the meal. Dwanlight Yun had a moment of inspiration. Such good luck should be utilized well. So he decided to complete the daily tasks first. The reward for the third daily task is random. What he wants most now is enchant materials. He was indeed given an enchant material after completing the task. Dragon's Blazing Blood. It can add the effects of intimidation and Dragon Slayer to gear. Dwanlight Yun is overjoyed. It turns out to be the top-tier enchant material. Want to maximize its use. Indeed, Potion of Luck is best used as an enchant. After class, he couldn't wait to rush to the school's enchant hall. Enchant can be very exciting. Once successfully upgraded, the attribute will soar. But once failed, not only will the gear drop in level, it might also shatter. Dwanlight Yun walked straight to the counter. He spent 3,100 credits purchasing many enchant materials. The receptionist asked Dwanlight Yun if he needed to rent an enchanter, as having an enchanter's help could greatly increase the success rate. However, Dwanlight Yun decisively refused. He brought the materials and headed straight to the enchant station. He clapped his hand on the enchant station. Start enchant. A purple electric snake shot out from the enchant station. Instantly wrapped around several enchant materials and demonic breakthrough, accompanied by a flash of purple light. The system prompt tone also sounded. Enchant successful. Demonic breakthrough has also been upgraded to golden 4 stars quality. Not only did the basic attributes get upgraded, but a new attribute system has also been added. The system prompts whether to continue to enchant Dwanlight Yun. Of course, the choice is to continue. More dazzling than before. The purple light shines brightly on the enchant platform, attracting the attention of many students for a moment. Oh my! Such a bright purple light. Someone has successfully enhanced the 7 stars. Watching the golden 7 stars breaking through with the purple electrical snake wrap. Nico couldn't believe it and widened his eyes. Dwanlight Yun simply threw the materials in and let the enchant machine automatically enchant without any skill. But he succeeded all the way. It's incredible. At this time, many people also gathered around. The success rate from 6 stars to 7 stars is only 5%. This kid is truly a chosen one. I wonder if he dares to go for 8 stars. Nico quickly spoke up to stop him. The success rate from 7 stars to 8 stars is only 1%. 7 stars is already very powerful. Stop it, Dwanlight. Dwanlight Yun, however, ignored the surrounding chatter. He simply said 4 words indifferently. Continue the enchant. As his voice fell, there was a loud rumble. A thick purple light suddenly soared into the sky from the enchant platform. Everyone watched nervously as this scene unfolded. Once successful, the weapon attribute will double. It will also add a brand new special attribute. That is the strongest golden rank weapon in the school's history. If it fails, the gear will definitely explode. There are even people with strong jealous tendencies who curse that his gear will explode. As the purple light dissipated, a golden cocoon emitting golden light appeared in everyone's sight. Accompanied by a loud rumble, the huge cocoon burst open. A handle wrapped in golden dragon patterns. The demonic breakthroughs suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Not only has the basic attribute undergone earth-shaking changes, but special attributes, intimidation, and Dragon Slayer, have also been added. Nico covered his mouth in shock. Even with a regular diamond weapon, it couldn't reach this level. What's even more outrageous is that this guy charged up without any technique. Dwanlight Yun looked at the demonic breakthrough in his hand and was very satisfied. It feels just right. No materials were wasted. But suddenly, a discordant voice sounded from behind. A giant man with a bare chest suddenly appeared behind Dwanlight Yun. Kid, sell me your weapon. I'll pay you 30% more than the market price. Dwanlight Yun turned his head and chuckled coldly. What if I don't sell? At this moment, Dwanlight Yun and Lei Lin were facing each other in the enchant hall. The surrounding onlookers were talking in succession. This kid should be a freshman. Brother Lei is not only a member of the student council, but also has some connections with the dragon bloodline. It's not a wise choice to offend him. Nico couldn't help but chuckle on the side after hearing that. What about Brother Lei? These senior students probably haven't seen this year's freshman competition. If a real fight breaks out, all of you together are not his match. Lei Lin disdainfully waved his hand. Kid, name your price. If the deal goes through, then you'll have the qualifications to hang out with me. This golden rank weapon, the strongest in the school's history, is only worthy of being possessed by me. Dwanlight Yun did not reply. Instead, he heavily stomped the ground with the demonic breakthrough in his hand. The weapon's attribute intimidation is activated. A terrifying pressure instantly erupts from the demonic breakthrough. Lei Lin was shocked and at a loss for words. His speech became a bit incoherent. What kind of weapon is this? Why do I instinctively feel fear rising in my heart? I am a half-dragon. I should fear nothing. Dwanlight Yun slowly approached with demonic breakthrough in hand. Are you suggesting that I am unworthy of owning this weapon? If you don't sell it to us, then we are enemies. Lei Lin was already scared at this point. He was trembling all over and couldn't say a word. The closer he got to me, the more my dragon blood inside me felt fear. What's going on? The next moment, he plopped down on the ground with a thud. No, he didn't. At this point, he no longer cared about saving face. The inner fear made him involuntarily shout, "Don't come over here! Private fighting is prohibited among students. Violence is wrong. We should promote civilization and foster new trends." The surrounding students were all dumbfounded one by one. Is this still the Brother Lei they know? Dwanlight Yun, on the other hand, walked past him directly. Take your time. I'm in a hurry. There's only a little time left for the potion of luck. We must make good use of our time. Nico also happily followed along. The students couldn't help but feel puzzled. Lei Lin was so scared at the first encounter that he resorted to reciting school rules for self-protection. What is this kid's background after all? Later, Dwanlight Yun came to the library to select skills in hopes of finding the right skills in the vast sea of books, which proved to be very difficult. But now, with the potion of luck, even if you choose randomly, you will definitely find the most suitable one. Just as he was thinking, his eyes suddenly lit up. He saw that he was holding two skill books, one for the hidden class, Shadow Assassin, and the primary skills of a druid. Although Dwanlight Yun had studied some of the primary skills of a druid, he did not have all of them. After all, the resources in high school are limited. The tracking skill in front of him is only available in college. It can quickly track the target's location through the traces left by the target. And the skills of the Shadow Assassin have effects that far surpass those of a regular assassin. Shadow Cloak turns the body into a shadow, making it immune to all controlling skills, and increasing movement speed by 35%. Lasts for 1.5 seconds. Shadow Steel can steal the target's items, gear, buffs, etc. The success rate of the theft is determined by the difference in attributes between both sides. Shadow Cloak and Tyrantian's Blood Escape are somewhat similar. It is a very good survival skill for control and protection. Shadow Steel can remove the opponent's weapon. Even the mage's shield is like a bug-like skill. Immediately after, Dwanlight Yun arrived at the bees taming arena to select a mount. Did not listen to the boss's florid speech. He went straight to a cage, pointing at a small, weak little fellow inside. That's the one. Dwanlight Yun noticed it the moment he entered the bees taming arena. With his current luck, he definitely couldn't go wrong. Nico and the boss were both very puzzled. The boss mentioned that no one had wanted this little fellow for 3 months. They were planning to get rid of him. Paying Dwanlight Yun 100 credits for the feed would do. Immediately, Dwanlight Yun threw out a bottle. A super large supplement purchased for 1,800 credits. The little one quickly stood up and bit it with a gulp. Then he tilted his head back and drank it all down with a gurgling sound. The next moment was captured in the shocked expressions of Nico and the boss. The little guy transformed directly into a massive mutant griffin. Dwanlight Yun stepped forward and touched its large head. It looks quite silly. Let's call it Silly Silly. Then the two of them sat on Silly Silly's back. Dwanlight Yun laughed out loud. Let's go, Silly Silly. After a moment, the two arrived at the final stop. Summon Beast Training Base. Due to the late hour, only the botanical warehouse is still open now. Fortunately, Dwanlight Yun is proficient in druid skills, making summoned beasts of the plant type suitable. Normally, the power of primary skills increases significantly after being boosted by his talent. However, summoner skills are an exception. The strength of summoner heavily relies on summoned creatures. Dwanlight Yun currently only has the most basic water element summon. The upper limit of the water element is too low. Now even being a meat shield is not enough. He needs a summon with strong growth potential. But the rank should not be too high. After all, he is not a summoner. While Dwanlight Yun was lost in thought, a wailing sound beside him caught his attention. It was a small thorn blossom fairy. Dwanlight Yun felt a little confused. The other thorn blossom fairies are all of diamond quality. Why is this one only made of gold? The boss sighed. Its innate talent is not good, and it did not develop well. Also, thorn blossom fairies are very delicate. If you want it to mature well, it must be fed well. The cost effectiveness is low. Nico also advised him that it would be better to buy a more high-level and practical one instead. Dwanlight Yun, however, smiled and bent down to pick it up. I will take it. Dwanlight Yun does not have the traditional summoners high-level pact skills, but after enhancing the primary pact, he can only form contracts with summoning creatures of golden quality at most. This little one is currently the most suitable for him, with a high contract upper limit. So Dwanlight Yun bought another 3 months' worth of provisions. The total cost was 3,800 credits. It's already dark outside. Nico hesitated and spoke up. Can we discuss something? Dwanlight Yun, the straight guy, said directly. I'm still wondering how long you're going to be a follower. Speak up, what's the matter? Nico rubbed his hands apologetically. Sure. Can you lend me 1,500 credits? You've taken all my credits. Dwanlight Yun did not hesitate at all. She readily took out her student ID card and swiped it for her. Nico looked at the balance displayed on Dwanlight Yun's interface. Nico's eyes were about to pop out in shock. This is excessive. After spending extravagantly the whole day, she still has over 8,000 credits left. She's simply a tycoon. Seriously, how many people's credits did this person steal? Watching Dwanlight Yun's departing figure, a blush appeared on her cheeks. This person may always seem cold, but she is actually quite a good person. The showdown of the new students is over. 3 months have passed in the blink of an eye. Dwanlight Yun attends every type of class. Very hardworking. From knives to sniper rifles, proficient in all. But he is too aloof. Except for occasional contact with Nico, he basically ignores all other students. Anfuyi is slightly frustrated by this. This situation exists in all top schools. Outstanding students love being lone wolves. But students have to go to the battlefield after graduation. Not understanding cooperation can easily lead to death. So Xianlong Kingdom organizes a national freshman exchange competition every year. The purpose is to strengthen cooperation. The freshman exchange competition of this year is approaching. Anfuyi then asked Professor Li to gather the top 20 freshmen. On the other side, at the crossbow training ground, Dwanlight Yun and Nico are having an archery competition. With a shout from Kaisi, the two simultaneously took a step back to create distance. Nico was the first to use Nature's Arrow. 3 arrows turned into 3 golden lights and burst out. Dwanlight Yun easily dodged the arrows with a light step of the toe. At the same time, he quickly launched a counterattack. Archer's primary skills, archery stance, and chasing arrow. Nico quickly dodged behind a big tree. What a fast counterattack. One of the arrows was shot directly towards the big tree. In an instant, It pierced through the trunk and shot towards the top of Nico's head. Nico is speechless. I lost. The spectators were all amazed. Brother Yun truly deserves praise for defeating Nico with only archer primary skills, even though Nico is a skilled Silver Moon elf with expertise in sword and bow. It's said that Brother Yun is also #1 in other class systems. Truly multi-talented. Nico is beyond frustrated. At the beginning, she could still bully Dwanlight Yun, but within just 3 months, she was surpassed. During their conversation, Professor Lee arrived at the training field. She asked the two of them to go to the training room. Headmaster Yi had something to discuss with them. Anfu Yi is not only the Dean of the Academy of War. He also serves as the Vice President. Not long after, the top 20 freshmen gathered in the training room. The students probably guessed the principal's intention. The Freshman Communication Competition is a national competition held every year. All universities will participate. It is divided into individual and team competitions. According to the results of the competition, universities will be ranked. The top 7 universities are determined by the exchange matches. Dwanlight Yun's Jiangnan University has already won 3 consecutive championships. However, a new survival challenge has been added this year. The specific rules are not clear yet. A new achievement quest has also emerged. Won the championship in the National Freshman Exchange Competition. At this time, Anfu Yi came to the training room. He smiled. This year's Freshman Exchange Competition will be hosted by Qingyan University. At that time, he will lead the team in person as the vice president. Later, he explained the rules of the new survival competition. Each school needs to field 20 participants. All participants will be randomly placed in a large, harsh environment. They can earn points by finding resources, killing monsters, and other methods. The rankings will be determined by the total points accumulated by all participants. After explaining the rules, Anfu Yi proposed to have Dwanlight Yun serve as the team captain. Everyone has no objections. Obviously, no one doubts Dwanlight Yun's abilities. Individual matches can only register 3 people. So it will be led by the top 3 freshmen, Dwanlight Yun, Tyran Shin, and Nico in the individual matches. In the team event, Anfu Yi, one of the 7 members, is feeling torn. The team leader, Dwanlight Yun, often prefers to act independently. It is uncertain whether he can effectively command. Furthermore, as a freelancer with no specific class, it is unknown what area he excels in the most. I have no idea how to pair him with teammates at all. Just when he was at a loss, Dwanlight Yun took the initiative to suggest that he choose the team members. Anfu Yi agreed after some thought. After all, Dwanlight Yun is the core of the team. The mentor quickly selected Dwanlight Yun. The list of team members was sent to Anfu Yi's office. Looking at the list of team members in hand, Anfu Yi was so angry that he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. What a messy team. It's not even the Dwanlight Yun 3 melee attackers, 1 Taoist, 1 summoner, 1 assassin lineup. It's just a team of kitchen knives. All they do is charge forward or attack. What kind of tactics can they produce? Jiangnan University has been able to achieve a 3-peat. It all depends on the 22-12 formation. 2 warriors in the front line, 2 mages dealing AoE damage, 1 healer for support, and 2 versatile classes for harassment and control. The entire team of Cleaver Squad now. They sent 2 meat shields forward, followed by long-range bombing. You don't even have a mage. What's the point of fighting? Professor Lee explained that they all didn't understand the concept of no-class freelancer. Perhaps Dwanlight Yun has his unique idea. Anfu Yi sighed helplessly. Let's first see the results. You go arrange for the instructor. The students in the training room are also very puzzled by Dwanlight Yun's arrangement. However, Dwanlight Yun ignored these doubts and simply stated that he had his own considerations. Just then, an angry shout came from the doorway. Who is Dwanlight Yun to make such an arrangement? Counselor Ningwei walked in with Hanfang Shui. He loudly stated that he had led the school to first place in the team competition of the last exchange match. He pointed out that their current lineup severely lacked magic output. He then pushed Han Fengshui forward. He is the strongest blasting mage among the new students, and is best suited to join in. Yoshulin immediately expressed his dissatisfaction. Isn't this guy just a big troublemaker in the freshman competition? This guy still wants to parachute into our team with these skills. Other students also echoed one after another. Yeah. I heard that Han Fengshui's family is wealthy. Come on, spill it. How much benefit did you receive from them? Dwanlight Yun, who leaned against the wall, also said coldly, What if I don't want it from them? Seeing that Dwanlight Yun didn't give face at all, Ningwei showed a fierce expression. I am the instructor. I have the power to make any arrangements for you. If I say he has to join the team, he must join. The students couldn't help but angrily curse. What a lackey. We worked hard to achieve our qualifying ranking. Why should a mere underling be allowed to join in? Brother Yun's magic is also very powerful. It's better not to have this mage. Han Fengshui stomped the staff in his hand fiercely on the ground and roared angrily. The freshman competition was because I was not in good condition. And I fell down because of the wheel fight. Dare to question me, let's have a comparison. Everyone looked at the staff in his hand with shock on their faces. That staff is at least of diamond quality. I have heard before that family Shui is one of the 8 great families of Tianan. They really spare no expense. Upon seeing this, Ningwei exclaimed loudly. Immediately kicked out a spot from the team for Han Fengshui. He is a double A rank magic talent, and also a rare class blasting mage. Why shouldn't he be able to join the team? Dwanlight Yun's eyes narrowed, and he said in a deep voice. He relies on his bad intentions, and loves to play tricks. If you're not convinced, you can leave on your own. Let's compare our teams in a match. If you win, you can do as you please. If you lose, then get out immediately. Ningwei burst into laughter after listening. Such an arrogant kid. Daring to challenge me, the previous champion, to a team match. I accept this challenge. See you at the arena in 3 hours. As soon as the news spread, numerous students rushed into the arena one after another. The freshmen are cheering for Dwanlight Yun's side, while the seniors are standing by Ningwei's side. On Ningwei's side, they also brought in the previous year's champion team Summer Ruizong Qian. The new student spectators were constantly showing disdain. But Ningwei doesn't care about that. Han Fengshui's brother greeted him. As long as he can establish a connection with the Shui family, his future will be promising. The players on Dwanlight Yun's side all felt a bit uneasy. After all, the other side has 2 champion players. And they are using a 2,212 lineup. It's very difficult for their knife team to break through the front line. It depends on how Dwanlight Yun commands. Dwanlight Yun, however, is fearless. No need for tactics. No need for commands. Just act accordingly when the battle starts. The team members' blood is also stirred up. What are we afraid of? We have 4 provincial highest scorers in our team. Relying on our strength alone is enough to crush them. As the instructor gave the signal to start, all members of Team Dwanlight Yun rushed out aggressively. Team Ningwei, on the other hand, formed a defensive formation and waited patiently. Ningwei couldn't help but mock these people in his heart, thinking they were just a bunch of fools. There was no coordination at all. They couldn't fully unleash their true potential. They simply can't break through what they have. 2 priests support with heavy armor tank. However, just when he thought victory was assured, several huge fireballs suddenly fell from the sky. Before he could be surprised, the opponent's casting speed was too fast. Ningwei quickly had 2 frontliners hold their ground. 2 huge light arrays formed above the heads of several people. They successfully resisted Fireball's attack. But Dwanlight Yun had already rushed to their front at this moment. Expand the defensive range. It means weakening the single-point defense. You cannot stop me. The priest is about to buff the tank. Several vines suddenly emerged from the ground and wrapped around her. Dwanlight Yun launched a sudden thrust that sent a tank flying. Darn it. His strength value is too high. It's impossible to withstand. Another tank charged forward using shield bash. Dwanlight Yun planted the long spear into the ground. He used the staff dancing move from the martial artist, moving it over his head. But he was also exposed in the air. This time you can't escape. Two mages immediately cast a spell combining ice and fire. Dwanlight Yun switched his demonic breakthrough into staff form. Fast casting and dual casting stacked together. Several large fireballs rushed up instantly. Only a deafening boom was heard. Two mages let out an unwilling roar. Then, they were burned into roasted chickens. Dwanlight Yun dives down with the help of gravity. Demonic breakthrough switches to long sword form. A silver blade fall directly took away another tank. The old spectators were shocked one by one with their malice agape. Oh my god! He took down two tanks and two mages all by himself without a break during the entire 3 seconds. Is this the no-class freelancer? Nico and the others who rushed over gradually slowed down their pace. It seems like nothing is wrong with us. Let's go over and clean up the battlefield. After all, we are among the top 10 freshmen. It's too frustrating that we were completely useless. Before everyone could react, Dwanlight Yun once again used the swordsman's speed skill, charging towards the 3 people behind. Ningwei quickly turned his head and shouted loudly. Quickly summon a monster to protect the priest. We must not let the priest leave the field. No need for his reminder. Ruitsong Qian is already casting. The next second, a summon that covers the sky and blinds the eyes. An object appears out of thin air in front of Dwanlight Yun. Dwanlight Yun grinned. I'm very good at spawning monsters. At this moment, I saw Dwanlight Yun rushing over. Ruitsong Qian hastily summoned his 3 summoned beasts. 2 two-headed feathered serpents and 1 inferno lion. All of them are at level 20 or higher. And they are all extremely rare platinum rank summoned beasts. The old spectators are discussing one after another. A summoner with such strength is definitely considered top-notch even among second-year students. It's no wonder he was a member of the championship team from the previous year. It's too unfair for him to use such a summoned beast against freshmen. The frightened Ningwei suddenly regained confidence. I was caught off guard by you earlier, letting you take the upper hand. Now, purely based on levels, any summoned beast can crush you. You're bound to lose. However, Ruitsong Qian beside him is full of horror. He found that this idiot still hasn't noticed yet. My summoned beast doesn't dare to attack at all. The strength of both sides is completely on different levels. Dwanlight Yun grinned. Since you're not moving, I'll make the first move. As the words fell, he suddenly stepped on the ground and charged towards the inferno lion in front of him. The long spear collided heavily with the giant tiger claw. A harsh metal friction sound rang out. The tiger's claws caused a slight vibration due to the force applied. Dwanlight Yun, on the other hand, was calm and collected. There is some brute force, but unfortunately, it is inferior to mine. At this moment, the two-headed feathered serpent next to them opened its big mouth and lunged forward. Dwanlight Yun turned around and kicked it, sending it flying out. A tooth was shattered. Then a wave of attacks from Changwei followed. Throughout the arena, only the miserable cries of 3 summoned beasts could be heard. Ruitsong Qian could only watch helplessly as this scene unfolded before his eyes. His heart was simply in too much pain. Then he roared angrily. I refuse to accept it. I demand a rematch. The purpose of team matches is to train tactics and strengthen cooperation. How does he look like when he plays